Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to Creating What's Next. My name is Wendy Hatton, and I'm the host here, and I get to interview inspiring business owners who can share with us how they got to where they are, what they're doing currently, and what is going to be happening in the future with them. And today I have the wonderful Elle Ingalls, who is a performance coach, and she has her own method called the pressure-free method that we're going to hear a little bit about later today. So, but the first thing, thanks for coming. I really appreciate you coming
Oh,
here.
I'm happy to be here. And I'm in my son's home studio. So he is a video producer. So video
Oh,
production owner. He and my sons own a video production company. So this is not my normal background with the guitar and Jaws, and we have Jurassic Park over here.
oh
So
yes, I love it. Okay, so you and I met in a community a few years ago on Facebook in a business growth type of a program. And so we discovered that we are both come from the music background. So we sort of clung together. So I thought you'd be a great person to come and interview. I'm just curious. So how did you get up to this point? What was the transition from what you were doing, and then you started this work? Yeah, just tell us a little bit about your story up to this point.
sure. So I love three things: sports, music, and business. Actually, I love a ton of things. I was supposed to be an engineer, according to my high school guidance counselor. So I love math, science, history. I love a lot of things. But as I look at my life, music, sports, and business, those were the three things that really um, I just really dug into. And so I was in the symphonic world for most of my career until 2010. And then it was a sports thing. I had coached my son's middle school track team, all three of my sons. Over the years, I coached them and their middle school track team. And then in 2010, my two older boys were starting on their high school baseball team, and they asked me to coach their team in what they called my mental toughness tools. And these were things that I taught my violin students to perform well, things I had used for years. I had created them decades before to be able to take a stage well, to never be nervous, to just rock the house basically. And they wanted that for their baseball team. Now I laughed, just like you laughed. I was like, who wants their mother in the dugout? That's crazy, right? And my eldest son goes, Mother, we want you. So I looked at my middle son, and Ned goes, We want you, Mom. We want you to do this.
Oh,
So honestly, I've never considered myself a writer. I now have two books I've published. I published workbooks and journals and like all this stuff now. But back then, like I didn't, my husband's a pro writer. So I think I had a little chip on my shoulder. I also had a professor at the University of Michigan that said, and I wrote a paper, and he goes, You're just not a very good writer. He actually said that. And he was a
oh,
TA. I mean, he wasn't even a full professor, right? But that, as a first year student, that kind of flummoxed me because I thought I was a pretty good writer. And so my kids asked this that night. It was like a Thursday night. The whole weekend, I just started writing. It just was writing and writing. And my husband took my ideas, kind of pared it down, edited it, and we threw in baseball graphics. And I had a really crude pamphlet. So I took it to the coaches, and the head coach was a financial advisor for Chase. And it was 2010, a very, very tough time for that industry. There were a lot of suicides. It was a very, very tough time.
mm,
And he said, Listen, I just need to see the caller ID of a client, and I'm just going to a panic attack. Like I can't get their money back right now. So he asked me to be his private coach. So I had all these baseball players and this coach, and then my department chair at the college where I taught violin and viola. She goes, Oh my gosh, I need this, grabs her checkbook and writes me a check. I didn't even know what to charge, Wendy. I was
come
like, I had no idea what to charge. I go, okay, I'm just doing this thing.
oh, wow,
And so
that's a,
that's how it got started. It was crazy.
and so you didn't have any kind of coaching,
No,
education or anything
no,
like that.
no.
You just fell right into it.
Yes, I have been
Wow.
privately mentored as you know, in the music world, we are privately mentored from the time we're very tiny. You're in
Yeah.
private mentorship lessons, in lessons with your teacher, your private music teachers from the time you're little. Um, and I had some private coaching in my sport as well, my sports. And so that actually really formed a base of what I do. I am not a psychologist, although I have taught psychologists. I have a client right now who's a psychologist, social workers, physicians, my method and this methodology, and they don't know what I know. Like, I just dove in really deeply to the stress response, to the release of hormones, to like when clients present with a disease, I go after it. I go find research about how these stress hormones affect diseases. So I go so deeply. Honestly, thought about doing a PhD a few times.
Mm.
My favorite psychologist, by the way, is Dr. Ellen Langer at Harvard. I would love to study with her. I actually reached out on LinkedIn and we are friends, and she said next time I'm in Cambridge to please reach out. So I just missed her. She wasn't in town when I was there last 2 weeks ago. Um,
Oh God.
but but seriously, it's like I just went so deeply on this one thing, this one aspect. But when you think about it, stress is the thing that messes up anything in our life, our health, our wealth, our relationships. It
Hmm.
it really is the crux of whether or not we are well-being or not. And so that's why, you and I talk like you still teach. I stopped teaching privately and at the college in 2019. That was
Hmm.
very hard. It was very hard, but I kind of went, now's the time to go all in. I was moving to a new city after 30 years. Like it was time to just kind of dive all in. And
Gosh. I'll
yeah, but
stem.
you know how hard that would be.
Yes, yes. I'll stem from that very first question. Can you coach me? That's
The boys, yes.
oh
Mhm.
gosh, that's amazing. And so now moving to what you currently are doing, could you tell us a little bit about your stress-free method? You have a
Yeah,
certification program for that?
I do. Yeah, I started that. So this all started in 2010. And I always wanted to create a train the trainer program, especially when I had people who were psychologists, other coaches, business coaches, life coaches, because
Mhm.
when they add the pressure free method into their coaching, their clients can really get results.
Oh.
One of the things we'll see as coaches is that we give all this advice and suggestions and all these methods and ways, but people don't get the results they want. There's
Hmm.
something missing, and it usually is stress-based. There's a stress-based reason as to why they're not breaking through. And so when you add pressure-free in, it really is a game changer for a lot of people. So typically my certification clients are coaches, athletic coaches, any kind of coach really, and then people in the helping fields, physicians, nurses, social workers, psychologists, therapists. So, but my regular program, I have regular programs. I coach as young as 10, which is kind of amazing, but 10-year-olds can use this method. They tend to be
Oh.
really bright, like they're superstar athletes or academicians or performing artists, and they are either experiencing anxiety or they don't want to, like they want to achieve. Um,
Mhm.
but I will coach as young as 10, and my eldest client was 80. She was the mother of a gold medal Olympian, and she came
Oh.
across me. I don't even remember how she found out about me, but she goes, "I don't know if you would coach someone this old," and I told her it would be an honor to. And so that was so cool, Wendy. Like that work was so beautiful. She was inspiring to me, and she did it. She used this method, and she broke through and, lived to be 93. So
Oh
13 years pressure-free is pretty cool. So
gosh. So we're going to have a link both on the LinkedIn article and also on the YouTube channel that we're starting with this. And we'll have a link there so people are, if they're interested in checking that out, to find out more, then you'll be able to find that from
yeah.
from
But
there.
I'll share right now, I'll share the basis of the method so people get
Okay.
it. Most
Sure.
of us think, and I lived this way for decades, have your stressful day and then exercise, meditate, pray, do yoga, eat well, and you'll be fine, right? You're managing your stress. That's what we call it.
Hmm.
But that's not how the stress response works. It works moment to moment to moment throughout our day. So, what I help people do is figure out what is causing them to trigger the stress response and interrupt the release of the hormones before they go out. So, it's a
Oh,
moment by moment, on the go method that no one else in the world teaches. So,
yeah.
have you ever heard of that? Like, let's do that instead of, okay, you need a 10-minute meditation. You do not need a 10-minute meditation. You actually don't need to take time off or slow down, which a lot of people are told. Like, physicians will say, listen, you've got a stress issue. You need to slow down or take time off. That's a myth. They might actually stress out more if they're sitting at home and they can't run their company.
Oh,
So
yeah.
so that's not how stress works. It's in the moment to moment. So I've created over 50 ways to interrupt that stress response because we're all unique. I keep creating ways because people keep sharing what their problems and situations are, and I'm like, "Oh, I gotta come up with a new way for you." So I
Hmm.
just keep developing ways to do that interruption for them. And I call it 3 simple steps. So targets, what are you aiming for? Could be a job promotion, it could be more money in your business, could be learning a new skill performance-wise. And then the second step is what is causing you to trigger that stress response? What tensions are working on you? Either mental tensions, physical tensions. And then third step, tools and the 10-second solution. So from a resting heart rate, it takes up to, it's very individuated, okay, but it takes up to 10 seconds before the 2 mechanisms of the brain will kick off the stress response and release the first flood of hormones. That's that adrenaline rush. So, what can we do in that 10-second window? 10 seconds is plenty of time to smile. There's plenty of time to use these 50 tools that I've created. So you're literally interrupting stress in the moment, the stress response. It's not stress that hurts us, it's the stress hormones that hurt us that actually are the silent killer.
Oh,
So
so
if
when
I
you say
go ahead.
stress response meaning how you respond to some type of stress that you're experiencing, and that's
Yeah,
what you are working on the how to respond better.
correct. So the stress response is a body mechanism that kicks off whenever we feel a threat to ourselves. It could be someone's tone of voice, the way they talk to us. When you
Mm,
think, "Oh my gosh, my boss doesn't think I'll get this done," or like you have a reaction. And so you'll notice some people notice their heart rate going up fast. Some people
mm,
feel their face turn red or their palms get cold and sweaty. If you have cold hands and feet, if you have any chronic mental or physical illness, that's a clue. If
mm.
you click your pen or jiggle your leg or, you just can't sit still, that's a clue. I don't view these things as negatives at all. These are clues. So now we can back up and say, okay, what got me starting to get pen clicky, right? What started my heart rate going up? Oh, it was when I saw the text from so and so, and I don't know what they mean, like that, right? Text stress is a real thing.
Yeah.
So the stress response is your body's natural defense mechanism. So you can fight violently or run away. We call it fight or flight, but you
Uh-huh.
might do other things too. You might just freeze and then run or hide.
Yeah.
You can fib, make up little lies. Like the boss says, "Hey, is your report done?" You're like, "Oh yeah, it's almost done," but you haven't even started it. Like you're just covering your butt. Or
Oh,
fawning, over flatting, like, "Oh my gosh, I love that color on you, Wendy. It's so pretty." Like, we just wanna belong in the tribe, okay? So we'll over flatter. Children do this a lot. They over flatter. But my adult clients, they'll say, "Yeah, I'm a fawner. I just want people to like me." People pleasers.
ah,
That's a real
yeah.
sign there. If really people pleasing, um, you've probably triggered fight or flight. You're not settled in your nervous system. So you're
Hmm.
overreacting. And
Wow.
then if you wanna swear, like, use the F bomb. So
Yeah.
if you feel yourself needing to swear, that's usually a clue that you're a little bit out of control. At least it used to be for our generation, Wendy. Right?
So yeah, right. And probably for this generation too, maybe.
I know, they're constantly triggered. That's why we have
Right.
an epidemic of anxiety, of stress, of depression.
Uh-huh.
It's all the root cause of the release of these hormones. The second flood of hormones will make you feel anxious for no reason. So if we
Wow.
don't release the first flood, the second flood doesn't go out. That literally cuts your anxiety in half if you have a lot of anxious feelings.
Huh.
Not crazy, but it's like so cool. It's all the biology of this. The biology affects the psychology. It affects how we feel. So
Wow.
that's what I teach people about.
So
I
fast.
really inform them. It's so cool, Wendy. Like I really inform them so that like you understand now, oh, so this is why I feel this way. And it literally is, I mean, I had 2 chronic diseases leave me in 8 weeks time when I used the method on myself.
Wow.
So, and I thought I was a pretty calm person, a pretty calm professional. I mean, I've had some of the greatest musicians in the world, like Misha Dictor and Yehudi Menuhin, like actually say, "Oh, you're just so great at your job. You're so calm." Like, I'm like inside, it's inferno, trying to keep the production going well, right?
Oh gosh, this is also fascinating. Gosh. Okay, so that is very, very, very interesting. I know a lot of people are going to be wanting to read more about what you're
Oh
doing
yeah.
and maybe reach out. But now, what would you say is ahead of you? What's in the future for you and your business? Would you say? Would you think?
Yeah, that's a good question. Most of my work is one-on-one, and then I speak on stages of any kind, and I do workplace trainings.
Hmm.
Um, I would like to get very connected to like 3 or 4 organizations and really do some deep work organizationally with 3 to 4 organizations over the next couple of years. I've had quite a few people from particular companies, like a couple Fortune 500 companies I've done a lot of work with, their leadership team members and the next levels down. But I would like to really dig into that in a corporate sense.
Okay.
Um, Certification to me is so important because the more people I teach this to, the more it spreads. By the
Mhm.
way, I don't franchise it or any of that. People just come through my program and use it however they wish into their own. Um,
Hmm.
that's really how I work this. I really want to spread pressure free all around the world because I really see that our biggest problems are stress based. People aren't communicating well. They don't listen. They don't hear. You can't listen and hear if you've triggered the stress response, even because your alarm was just loud this morning. So now your whole day, your sight and your hearing are off somewhat. So
Hmm.
people are like, "Oh, my boss never pays attention to me." They actually can't. They're too stressed to actually see you or hear you. So when I
Oh,
work with leaders, like their meetings change so much and their teams come alive because they don't feel all this weird judgment. But we actually tighten the front of our body in fight or flight, our throats, our chest, our bellies, which is a repellent. You push people away. So I teach people how to open up and invite people in, which is
ah,
vulnerable. So we have to get over ourselves. Like, it just kind of actually this is too good, Wendy, because I saw your grandchildren pictures and like we have kids and you have grandchildren. I'm about to have some. Um, it's so interesting to me how the young people I coach will say things like, "Oh, Mrs. Ingalls, you're just teaching people how to be grown-ups, but grown-ups don't act like grown-ups." That's what they say. It's
wow,
so
even
funny.
they can even tell, right?
They can
Like,
tell. They're like, "My mom is just ridiculous. Like, she's just so crazy." And it's like, she's not crazy. And some people will say, "Oh, she's hormonal." She's not hormonal in the sense that we think. It's the stress response that's causing those behaviors that are
uh-huh.
not in alignment with her true self or his true self if it's the father. It's like
Uh-huh.
fascinating to dig into that.
Wow.
Oh my
Love
god, I
this.
could teach you so much stuff, it's crazy.
You could just, yes, we could talk for hours
I
on
know,
this.
we have.
Oh gosh. Well, I do want to thank you so much for coming and sharing. Even though I've known you, I didn't know all of this about you. So
Yeah, that's
that
so
is
good.
awesome. Great. And so we're going to put the replay of this video on our new channel, our new YouTube channel called Creating What's Next. And she's going to be the first one. Actually, I've been doing these interviews for about a year, but not the video, with not using video. So it's only been a LinkedIn article, which it'll remain a LinkedIn article, but it also will be on the channels too. So give
Wonderful.
you a little bit more exposure. And so awesome. This is
Great.
a great first person to be able to do this. So
Oh,
thank
thank you
you.
so much, Wendy.
You are so welcome. And I can't wait to see what kind of results you can get for some other people around, like
Yeah,
people that you work with really like high level people. So
all kinds of people,
all kinds of people.
I've
Hmm.
worked with people who are homeless, who are unhoused. I've worked with so many different kinds of people,
How
and
many years
that's the
have you been? How many years have you been doing?
16 years.
16. Wow.
Mm,
Amazing.
yeah.
Oh, okay. Well,
Thanks
thanks.
for having me.
Yes, you're welcome. Thanks everyone for watching, and I will see you the next time.